We are fresh off the trail with Eric Montgomery on a Hike for Pennies project. Up in the Sierras right now, he's hiking the entire Pacific Crest Trail and he's taking a break to talk to us. So Eric, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're with me today. Tell me a little bit about this hike and, you know, aside from the fact that you're doing this whole Pacific Crest Trail, but why is it so important to you, and how do you think we can make a difference?
Well, for me personally, the idea to do the trail started with a love of hiking. I just really love the self-reliance of it all. You have everything you need to survive in your backpack, and I've walked almost 800 miles so far with your own 2 feet. But beyond that, my background is I studied neuroscience in undergraduate, and I'm in love with the science of the brain. And when thinking of this hike, I wanted to add a little more, personal meaning to it. And I've seen other people hike for causes before, and for me, it was an immediate response that hiking for scientific research support was what I wanted to do. And one of my childhood friends, Ian Gustafson, he had a younger brother who passed away from pediatric brain cancer, and their family started a foundation called the Swifty Foundation to help support research projects and fundraise for them.
Yes, we had them on our show just 2 weeks ago, and I was so excited to hear you were on the trail because the trail actually goes near where I live. But of course, by the time I talked to Ginny about it and then she talked to you, you were long past Agua Dulce. But I was so grateful to be able to catch up with you today in the mountains. Just so our folks know, we went up to Kearsarge Pass, which is up about 12,000 feet, to meet Eric and his hiker friends, and we came down the mountain and did the Lemon Face Challenge. Thank you so much.
We'll have a video of that.
Yes. And so we'll be sharing that with you as well, with the audience as well. But I appreciate so much your dedication to neuroscience and to children. And this is Brain Tumor Awareness Month. Would you tell us a little bit about the project that your hike is supporting?
Yeah. So it started by talking with the Swifty Foundation, and through their incredible, impressive work, we were able to collaborate with other foundations and start the 4 Pennies initiative. So the reason it's called 4 Pennies, the significance is that 4 pennies of every dollar that the federal government dedicates towards cancer research, only 4 pennies go towards the pediatric forms of the cancer. And this is a real travesty because the pediatric forms of cancer are oftentimes wholly different diseases in and of themselves. And the more in the recent decades, with better technology and advancement in research to study the genetic basis of the diseases, essentially they're entirely different diseases. And the old school formula of trying drugs that work for the adult versions of the cancer on the pediatric patients has simply not worked. And DIPG, the diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, has yet to find a cure. Still, it's radiation and allopathic therapy to treat the symptoms, but there is no cure, and there is no drugs that have been found effective. And it's essentially 100% fatal, and that's why it's incredibly important that we continue to fund the research, and especially can call on the federal government to pass the bill through Congress right now, but also to just continue to dedicate more funds to understanding these diseases so that we can find the drugs and find the treatments that specifically will address the mutations that are found within DIPG.
Awareness is very important. That's key. I mean, the whole thrust of your project here is you're raising awareness as well. Congress can't do a whole lot, and neither can people out there unless they know that there's a problem. So we here at Childhood Cancer Talk Radio appreciate that. All of our community does. DIPG has been long neglected, long in the darkness, and many feel that it's an example of the unfortunate tragedy that so many families have to endure. There's no solutions for them. Nothing. Diagnosis. And they're taking the kids out of the country. And here we have all these wonderful scientists in our own country needing support. Could you tell us which foundations it is that are supporting this Open DIPG project?
Yeah, so
Swifty,
yeah,
right?
So the 4 Pennies Initiative, the 4 foundations currently are the main 4 that from the beginning were Swifty, the Dragon Master Foundation, the Courtney Rose Foundation, and the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And we all thank you. Literally, most all of the research in the United States is funded by foundations begun by bereaved parents. It's a huge, huge load, and so we appreciate so much your efforts in raising awareness. The bill you mentioned going through Congress, HRS 69, is just a simple awareness bill, but with that, the general public will know that our children aren't coming first, even though we would all want them to, but the dying and children need more attention. So this Open DIPG project, it involves East Coast and West Coast collaboration, correct? With PNOC on the West Coast and CBTTC on the East Coast. Truly, what a miracle in bringing so many wonderful scientists together. This is truly an effort that we will all be watching. We're going to watch you all the way through your hike. You had mentioned to me before it's probably through July because you're going to medical school in August, right? So that's the next step.
Yep.
How do you see your advocacy for these kids further inspiring your work at school?
Yeah, well, as I said, I love the brain, and that's what I want to make a career out of. There's many diseases that involve the brain that interest me. I did my thesis on Alzheimer's. However, the more that I learn about this disease and the more that I learn about the community and the open collaboration, which can be rare in science to find, I could very easily see this, becoming the path that I've taken in the next 10 years. My interest right now is to stay in academic medicine, specifically more clinical research. However, open to basic science research as well, and kind of just see where the path takes me. But yeah, this is definitely, it's opened my eyes to new opportunities, just to help, to do good in the world, and through doing something that I love.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your personal calling to medicine and this project that you're doing and taking the time today to meet us on the Hill. Wow, thank you, Eric. And we'll be watching you and rooting for you the whole way. And of course, hoping to hear a recap. Maybe we'll get a moment, hopefully, when you're done to see how it all went and what you're doing in school. So thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah. And one last thing is about the 4 Pennies Initiative. So a little tidbit that I forgot to add in is the goal of the initiative is to raise 4 pennies for every step that I take along the trail. So for instance, about a 20 an average day can be anywhere from 20 to 30 miles walked, which is probably about 50,000 to 60,000 steps roughly. So you do the math, and our rough estimation before I started the trail was a goal of $185,000. And I've yet to, we're in the Sierras for 8 days, and I haven't had any update on where we are towards that goal, but the goal, all the money is going directly towards an open, collaborative clinical study, a phase 2 study being conducted by a bunch of the West Coast medical schools, and it's an important step in this fight that hopefully, one day in the near future we'll see come to a successful end.
collaboration, and it all starts with awareness and communication about it. So thank you, Eric, so much. I'm Janet Demeter with Childhood Cancer Talk Radio. We are coming to you from Bishop, California, off the trail. Thank you again, Eric.
Thank you.